Hey guys, what's going on? We had a long day, and I'm telling you, a long day. Had to get me some wings. I'm tired. I don't drink wings a lot, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Give you wings. Anyway, blueberry. That blueberry one, that's my favorite one. Oh man, that's nice. That's real nice. So how y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Wanted to come on and talk a little bit about. First, we're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers. We're going to talk about two tonight that are almost identical cases. Same thing happened pretty much in both of them. We're going to talk a little bit about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Then we're going to talk a little bit about, y'all know who. I've been talking about her lately. Stephanie Darman. Duran. There you go. Stephanie Duran. I knew I'd get it out eventually. I've been out in the river all day, man. I just got home and a long flight. Not a long flight, but you know how it is. Private planes, sometimes it's easier, but sometimes it's a pain in the butt. But anyway, we had to do that for the year anniversary because you know what? Not only was it the anniversary, the 1 year anniversary of Sebastian Wade Drake Rogers, just to let y'all know, Ruby Pack, today's the 25th. We started October 25th, so we're a 4-month anniversary today. On the same day as Sebastian's yearly anniversary. So I'm not celebrating the 4 months. That's not that's the least of my problem, of our problems, right? Our problems here are finding Sebastian, finding Stephanie, finding Harley Morris, finding Suzanne Simpson, finding Nikki McCann. I mean, I could just keep going on and on, right? I mean, there's just so much. And today, when you get down there like that, my nose always, when I go there, my allergies get bad. I don't know why, I just always do. But the thing is that I can't drink this on camera. I forgot I can't show the can. Allegedly, in my opinion, these are my theories, my thoughts, my speculation, my free speech. Power to free speech, right? They're not to reflect on the channel. This is just my thoughts, my opinions. Allegedly, it's me, right? Just a big alleged bubble, like I always say. Trigger warnings times 100 million. Maybe 200 million since we're doing 2 cases. Depends on how long our beautiful fire lasts. Anyway, I built the fire before I even left, so that way I wouldn't have to do it when I come back. But anyway, that's why we didn't do fire chats last night. I didn't do any because of everything that was going on with travel and stuff. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about Sebastian. The 15 when he went missing, right? 15-year-old from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And, yeah. And let's just say he loved the color green. I had the note somewhere. I wanted to say something. Hold on. I'm trying to remember where I put it because I want to say this. I'm so sorry to change the subject, but okay. Cindy and I, Ruby Pack. Cindy, I'm speaking to you real quick, and I'll get back on Sebastian. Y'all don't know why I'm speaking to Cindy. Cindy, I lit a candle for you tonight. I said prayers for you tonight. And I pray to God that the doctor gives you the results of negative. I hope it's okay that I share this. She's waiting on some testings to come back for a certain type of cancer that could be there. So Cindy, Ruby Pack, you're in the Ruby family. We love you like family. We do love you. We pray for you. We pray for all of y'all. And especially tonight, let's say a little prayer for Cindy, please. She's going through a lot. She's asking for prayers. When someone asks for prayers, we have to give them prayers. That's just part of how we do it. I'm just a big faithful person. Y'all know that. And so it's another reason why I'm showing my face more tonight than normal. I just feel that sometimes people, when they reach out, we have to reach back. And the same goes with some of these kids that might be reaching out. We need to reach back. And look and see and be aware. Because sometimes We don't know when there's a problem or when somebody needs prayers or when somebody is worried or stressed or, I don't want people to be that way. That's why I'm saying, let's say a little prayer for Cindy. I say, to me, that's a scary thing. And that's the second person now that's having testing done in this channel. The other one did not want me to mention names, so I didn't. Cindy, she reached out on the comments, so I knew it would be okay. I hope to God it's okay. I just wanted to say, we love you. The Ruby family loves you. And we're praying for you. And I'm pretty sure the whole Ruby Pack will be praying for you, Cindy. Okay? And please keep me posted on what's going on. I really care and I want to know. So please let me know. Because you are like part of the family. And so please, please, please let us know how it goes. We're going to pray that it comes back negative. And I'm praying that it will. I feel that it's going to come back negative just because of my faith. But we're praying for you. Don't forget that. Okay, Cindy? All right. I just wanted to shout out to her and ask everybody to say a little prayer for her because, she is part of our group. So, and she comments every day on every video. So, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank all of y'all so much for 4 wonderful months. We're growing slow, but we are a big-hearted family, and that's what I want. Some start to fade, some are staying and strong, and that's what you want. This is what it's about. I wasn't here to say, hit the like button, sub, share. Like, I'm not gonna do that, right? I feel like if y'all want and like the video, then you're gonna do it. I shouldn't have to ask you, right? That's just my opinion of it. And everybody has their own opinion. That's what makes the world such a special place. So, I've never really do that. I don't even know if I've ever even said share the video. Maybe one time. To me, what's important is getting awareness out. And hopefully y'all take this awareness and look it up and check it and dig it and see if there's something I miss, right? Everybody misses something. So that's why I wanted to do that tonight. Anyway, Sebastian Wayne Jake Rogers. Let me disappear again. 15-year-old out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, went missing on February 25th, 2024. Okay? He was home with his mother, Katie Lynn Payne Proudfoot. We're learning a lot about them. It's taken a long time to learn, but we're learning. I haven't watched anything that they put out. I really don't worry about that right now because they're not out there searching. So to me, it doesn't matter. And that's just me, allegedly my opinion. But I feel like Sebastian did not leave that home. And I think pretty much the sheriff's making that clear, I feel, right? Like, he might be saying it's not criminal, but you don't search a landfill without a criminal warrant. I mean, I'm sorry. They had to put something on there to get that warrant. It's so hard to get that. That's so much money to do. I mean, the manpower, money, and time, and shutting down the place, and it's a lot, guys. So to do that, they had to have something that they felt was criminal. I think they got is I think they know that somehow they got rid of this boy, but they can't figure out how and who took him. And I mean, who took him is one of them. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the one that doesn't have the alibi. He has an alibi for that morning. I'm not saying that, but where's the proof of the alibi from Sunday all the way from Friday, Saturday, Sunday to say 9:43 p.m. Okay, that's the number he used. And he stressed that number. Remember that. Nobody does that. He tried to make the damn thing so crystal clear. 9:43, 9:46 p.m. That's when they got on the phone. They talked till midnight, right around midnight. A few minutes before midnight, right around midnight. Exactly what he said, remember? Okay, so that tells me one thing when I'm looking at now all the lies are stacked up, stacked up, stacked up, stacked up, stacked up, right? Okay. He don't know how to tell the truth, in my opinion. But think about those things, right? Sebastian was autistic. We know autistics can be different. They painted a picture in the very, very beginning that he was a bright, smart kid and knew how to get to the ice cream shop and all these things. Then they turn around and start saying he's an R word. He's this, that, wears diapers. Like they start going the other way, right? It's not about Sebastian to them. You know what it's about? It's about Seth. Because why? Because the one person that won't let this die is Seth. And that's the one person they're going after the most. And they shouldn't do that because they already said that that was Sebastian's best cheerleader. Okay, you're telling me this in the beginning. It was all about y'all three, y'all three, y'all three. That was how Christopher Proudfoot put everything. It was y'all three, y'all three, y'all three. Us three have been vetted. Us three have been cleared. Us three have taken polygraph tests and passed. We've all passed. He has not taken one. Sorry, his lawyer, I know he's not going to take one. And they can't force him to take one because it doesn't hold up in a court of law. So I don't care what anybody says out here. I'm sorry, I don't. There is no proof that he has taken one. There's no proof that he is cleared. There's no proof she is cleared. And there's a reason for that. So let's stop for a minute, step back a little bit, and think about it. When they're putting out things and it's being debunked one after another, and then when the sheriff gets involved to debunk it, that's even worse. Then they change the date to the 25th, and what did I tell y'all? The day they changed that date, what did I tell you on that video? That's just huge. Because now it's saying, what they're clearly stating is that that boy was gone before midnight. Y'all understand that? Excuse me. I got a little dehydrated today on that river, and I'm really tired because I had worked all night. Left at like 5 in the morning. Got back a while ago. I mean, I've been go for like 29 to 36 hours right now. So sorry if I'm a little tired, a little slow, but I get frustrated with this case. That's why I kind of switched. But anyway, let me say a little bit more about Sebastian and get me off the getting upset part. But, you know, he loved it. He's a gamer. He, you know, Call of Duty. He wants to get there and kick some booty, right? You know, I could just picture this young man having so much fun playing, right? He has no headsets, or if he has a headset on, it don't work anyway. That's cute, right? He don't know. He just thinks it does, right? Which is cool. I like that. But, you know, he probably, when he was with Seth, he could be himself. And he wasn't in a cage, right? That's how I look at it. He wasn't caged up, controlled up. And we don't hear CPS cases being in his name. They have not proven that. I'm sorry, they haven't. They've tried, but I don't think it worked. So, ooh boy, I better put some wood. Hey, hold on, I gotta take my earpieces out real quick. Hold on, don't go nowhere. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, guys. There you go, right? There you go. Here you go. Here we go. Now we got us a fire. I can sit back on my butt and talk. But anyway, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, right? He loves the games. He Minecraft, you know, Call of Duty with his dad. Taking him to these little places to play. He's getting to be him. He's getting to be Sebastian. He's getting to live his life. Then, when that weekend's up, or that week's up, however they did it, I don't know exactly, but he goes back to the cage. Can you imagine that, how he felt that day? I understand now. When Seth said he kept saying he didn't want to go back, I get it. And see, this is what I'm talking about earlier. What we don't do, and we should do, no matter what, when Sebastian Rogers, I'm not blaming anyone. When he starts telling you he doesn't want to go back, that's when you go straight to a counselor. And you say, can you please talk to my son before I take him back to his mom's? If you have to keep him an extra day, call her and tell her, hey, I'm keeping him an extra day. I got to take him for an appointment in the morning. Whatever, that's fine. Take him and find out why. Or say, please, buddy, tell me, right? You know, talk to him until he talks to you. And try to find out why. Because that could have prevented a lot of this. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, if we see the signs, grab them. You know, when I see one of my daughters with their head down or not a smile on her face when she walks in, or I can tell by their cheeks. I've always been able to tell by their cheeks if they're upset or mad. And of course, I run over there and okay, sit down, let's talk. And it doesn't matter. They're going to sit down. They're going to talk. We share everything with each other. And that's how you should do it. Because if there's a problem, I want to know. Because the only way I'm going to know my child completely 100% is if I always listen, right? That's what I do. I listen. I have 2 girls. I don't have a boy. I have 2 girls. So, of course, dad has to always listen. And I don't always understand, but then I figure it out or I ask questions, right? And if we would listen to what our kids are telling us, sometimes these things might not have got this way, is all I'm trying to say. I'm not here to say anything bad. I'm not trying to bash anyone. Y'all know me. I'd never do that. I would never talk about anyone. I don't do that. I mean, I might say, hey, they debunked this that he put out of that, but about the one, but he's working for them. So, I mean, that's his job. So we know what's the truth and what's not. So why are we worried, right? I see it that way. A lot of people, I'm noticing a lot in the comments, people are saying, Richard, keep it up. Don't talk about other creators, right? I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to go after something for a click or a view because y'all know that clearly. I don't even ask that. Every now and then I do on an important video like today. Yes, I did on the Sebastian Rogers and I think on the Harley Moore. I want 2 of the videos I think I asked for that. It's only because that video meant a lot to me, right? Because sometimes I don't watch my videos at all. I just post them. I don't know how they're going to be. And I know that's crazy, but the majority of my videos, I don't watch them. I'm always so busy, I don't have time. But some of these, like when I go to that river, and I always say a prayer when I get there before I start the camera or whatever. And, to guide us through the day, to help us find some kind of clue or something, right, to solve this case. And like in some of those videos, you're going to notice we found some spots that need to be dug up. Our purpose of going was to try to locate some targets and try to separate, okay, this area is cleared, right? Because when I clear an area, as y'all know, I'm working that same 3-mile path, and I've worked it 5 times, but you don't always see everything. So now what I was doing was more of a bank to see if anything, a lot of things wash up when you have floods and all that water like that, it pushes way down, right? So you have to be down. You have to start down there and work your way back. Because if you don't start far enough down there, you might miss something. So that's what we're trying to do, is go right outside that box, right? Like right outside that box and work that way. Just like we did in what was it, the Easy Day, Mississippi area or whatever. That's what we do. And Memphis area, whatever. That's what we do. And we try now that we're working these banks, because it seems that sometimes those drop-offs, and you'll see in those videos when I fell, I did fall on one of those videos. Hurt pretty bad, but my knee still hurts. But fell more than once, actually. But one time I wasn't filming, thank goodness. But I tried to go under, and I couldn't get under, and I rolled to the side, but I caught myself, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I got a little muddy today. It's okay, though. But he's worth it. Sebastian's worth every bit of it. But, when you get down there and you say your prayers and you're looking around and you're watching that water run and, sometimes the sun's popping out of the clouds, sometimes it's not. It's kind of chilly, but yet you feel warm sometimes and you're like, this is perfect. This is a perfect time to be searching. When a lot of people would think, no, it's too cold. It wasn't that bad, really. Well, at least where we were wasn't bad. But, I can understand if it's freezing and there's ice on the ground, there's snow on the ground, I know it's cold, but a lot of times you can find areas that didn't have that bad weather that's still, to me, are in the target, right? I'm outside the backwards. I'm backwards. Like, I'm not going Hendersonville that way anymore. That way's been so checked right now. I'm not really worried about that. There's one spot I have left on that route that I want to look at, and that's it. But the majority of it is backwards. There's a lot of wildlife refuges and things. It's just like where, I think it was Cody that was found. Adams. That's who those remains were at that, Roosevelt Wildlife. Well, they were right outside, and he supposedly went to go meet people and never came back, and that's a sad story. But, the thing is that there's so many areas. Usually they say it's right off the road, like those were found right off the road, right? A lot of people won't take the time, but I don't think in this instance they did it that way, if they did it, right? I mean, we have to look at it that way. I'm trying to look at every possible way, but when you go back to think about, okay, if this kid would have walked out that door and been smart enough to dodge every camera, which I don't think he would have been, but It doesn't matter if he left that house and wandered around, they would have had a dog trail wherever he went. But I can almost bet you if they would have smelled Katie scent, it would have went where that flashlight went. And I wish they would have done that, but they didn't. I think that would have cleared up a lot. That would have gave them something that would have been like, hey, why'd you go to that road and back, right? I mean, so the flashlight, they could have matched the video, matched the dog scent, which way they went exactly, then overlay it right, and then no. And then that's it. That will be one way they could have solved this. And I'm hoping by saying this that they might look at that. Because you can get all the pictures from up there you want. And some people didn't think so, but now they do, right? I heard it the other night from my brother, Vision. Shout out to you, brother. Doing a wonderful job. Keep it up, baby. But turn the heat up a little. It's getting cold. But, you know, I feel that I did a little different. I put it more that way because the wind, I didn't want all the smoke on me. Usually I know I have them sitting kind of the other way, but this I did a little different. And I'm going to miss this area when I go to move to the other one, but I'm still going to have the barbecue pit, and I'll still come back here every now and then and do videos. This is where we started. And, you know, it's hard because when you're out there and it's just me and Ruby. And I know we don't always post a lot of what we film, but it's hard on a lot of times because I have to pause it, or if I have a spot that's, as y'all know, some of those vine things that come down and they're kind of, some of them are throwing, like when I have things like that, I can't. I have to just put the phone down, put it in my pocket, put it in my backpack, whatever, and crawl my way through those places. And I wish I could do it, but even the GoPro gets knocked off my head. So it's really hard, but I'm working on it and I'll get better at it. But right now what I try to do is focus on searching the area good. You know, when I've swept an area really good, usually that's when I'll pop on a video. And then, you know, I'll work my way the other way while I'm doing the video. Because where I targeted, usually I don't want to film. And because I want to get there and check it, right? And then once I'm pull out of that spot that I'm checking, then I'll start wandering around that area to see. And that's when I usually make my videos. But, you know, Sebastian did not deserve this. And to me, it's about the truth. That's what it's about. That's all we want is the truth. Because the truth will lead us to him. That's what the truth will do. So until we get that, it's stalled, right? We know now they don't really have very much. I mean, they do, but it's just not enough. I don't think it's enough to make the arrest unless now that I know the DA is that involved, that's scary. Because when a DA is that involved in this case, that means that he is pushing the heck out of them to make an arrest. That's how I feel about it. And he's coming weekly and wants reports weekly. He is looking for little changes each week. And as long as those little changes are growing, he's okay with it. And if they stop, I guarantee you he wouldn't be okay with it. So evidently they're putting the puzzle together. They're just not done. Or maybe they are and they're not going to tell us yet, because they did come out and talk, right, today. I mean, it wasn't much, but they're not going to give us what they got because they've learned they can't. Why? Because they have one side that tells a whole lot of lies and never searched. And they got one side that's busting his ass trying to do everything he can. So you tell me what they think. I mean, if we see it, they see it, right? And I think with that comment that he made in the beginning, you know, it was Sonny though, but when he made that comment about they're telling us to tell y'all they don't want to talk. You get that, right? He separated law enforcement from them. So they couldn't come back and say law enforcement or TBI said we can't share that, right? He wanted to make sure that he split that apart. In the very early, he caught what they were doing. Using the TBI, using law enforcement, bragging on. He saw that. He's smart. He's not dumb. He did see it. I still think what happened to him is a mystery to me too. But we'll go there later. Another video. But it's coming for y'all. Don't worry. But you know, the thing is that he understood, just like what he said after the landfill. If you listen to what that man said, he put it out there. Like, you know, in his head, what he's thinking is, okay, when they did that landfill search, he was disappointed. Okay, when you're disappointed, that means you got something. because you got something to be disappointed about. So something led them there. We'll never know until a court or a trial if we ever see one. But they know something, guys. They got something. They might only have one clip in a brief second, but they got it. And now we know they got her car leaving that neighborhood. And now supposedly it was seen, I guess, I don't know if the cell down going towards Gallatin. Why? That's where the Bowerstocks live, if I'm correct. They move all the time, so I don't know, I'm just saying. I hear the rumor now they're going to move into that neighborhood where Katie and them are. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's one of the rumors going around Hendersonville. They need to move out of town before they get run out of town. Because I think these neighbors about had enough. The ones I usually deal with, and I peeked in today and had breakfast with, they're not happy. They're not happy about none of this. And they're starting to say what's on their mind, and that's what they need to do. All those neighbors should have came forward first. You know what? Because those neighbors cared more. And you know, when you're a neighbor, right? Like, okay, say you know your neighbor. Most of us know our neighbors. That's just how we should be. I know I take care of my neighbors. I have a lot of elderly people that live out in the country, right? And they don't really have nobody to help them, right? Their kids are grown and gone. So I always check on them. I have about 5 that I always stop in and check on them at least 2 or 3 times a week. If they need mowing, I mow the grass. If they need this done, I help them with that, right? I don't mind. Those are my neighbors. If I ever needed them or when I needed them, if I needed them when the girls were young, hey, can you please watch my kids for a little bit? I got to run to town. You know, we work together as neighbors, and that's how we should do it. That's what small communities do. That's why I was really shocked that at such a small rural community, you saw everybody bond but 2. You know, everybody's over here in a circle holding hands, and 2 of them are at the home, right down the road. They couldn't even walk down the road for their son. What is that? I mean, look at all these little things. Did I tell you in the very beginning? And they only talked. They talked on, I think, the day Chris was supposed to be in court in New Mexico. That's when they talked. So I'm not so sure. The pressure from the people helped, but I'm thinking more of the court that he wanted to prove to New Mexico and say it out loud on TV. Because he basically said it. We're clear, we're vetted, really loud, really more than once, like directing it to someone. And that's why I felt like he's directing it to New Mexico. Hey, go watch the clip. You'll see that we're cleared, right? That's the kind of thing I think he was doing. I'm not sure on it. It's just my thoughts, allegedly. But something was going wrong because he was getting trouble and he knew it. Okay, for instance, the Darman case that we're talking about. They moved county to county. They moved a lot around Texas and then went from Texas to the highest part of the freaking United States. 20 miles, 15 to 20 miles from the Canadian border, guys. From CPS, they were running. And the mom even posted it. Finally getting away from all this drama and all this stuff with CPS. We're putting it behind us. You don't put that shit behind you. Especially now when you have a child that wanders off, you say, in the woods, but no scent, no trail, no nothing. Here we are again. And they don't search, and they declined to search. When that team got there, they declined to search. To law enforcement, everyone. How do you decline to search for your 13-year-old daughter? Well, now it's 14, but how do you decline? How do you parents? Christopher, his name is Christopher. His mom's name is Lisa. Her mom's name is Lisa Marie. How in the hell did y'all not search for your child? How did you wait 24 hours when it was 40 degrees that night? You know, that is insane to me. It's because something happened to her beforehand. Him going to do the application, that was their cover-up. That was their alibi. I figured this one out really quick. You know, with all the CPS cases and if he's getting away and putting all that behind him, I think his plan was to get rid of all 6. And then he wouldn't have any CPS troubles. But I'm wondering now if the CPS troubles were on Stephanie. If she was the reason for CPS, right? She had the little grandpa's cell phone. If she was the reason for all the CPS, besides their arrest at McDonald's drunk with the kids in the car, and got arrested and taken to jail, and the mom had to take a lesser charge of some kind of criminal intent or criminal abuse or something like that, She had to take that lesser charge. Their rap sheets are a mile long. They're bouncing town to town to town. Lufkin, Texas. Russ, Texas. They're bouncing all over. And little bitty counties, little bitty towns. You know, a couple hundred people here, a couple hundred people. That's what they want. Because they're hiding. They're running. So what are these children learning? They're running. If your parents are running from their problems, they're running. That's like running away. It's the same thing. They're running away from the problems. But your problems still follow you. And I'm hoping now in that case, I know it's only been 150 whatever days. In that case, I think CPS is going to come down on them. They know where they are now. Now they're doing their investigation. Now they're going to put this together. And I think they're going to get them. And I hope they do. Because that father clearly has no emotion, no empathy. Reminds me of the other Chris. The other Christopher Proudfoot. And this Christopher. Duran, or whatever his name is. And him to sit up there in his camouflage jacket with his goatee. Oh, well, she was on that phone, and I guess she met somebody. Yeah, we're pretty sure. And she just met him and left. Because remember, the family members were all inside. The other kids were inside when she came out. Only the grandpa was outside. But yet, the mom says, they all heard the car drive up a mile down the damn road. You didn't hear no car. You ain't going to hear no four-wheeler. You ain't going to hear no motorcycle no mile away through all that thick brush. You're kidding me. And I know the law enforcement don't buy it. I know when he's saying, you're not searching my property without a warrant. Like he has digged his own hole. They're going to crash and burn, but they were already going to crash and burn, right? So that's why I say that one, they're going to crash. It won't make it probably 260 days before they go down. I think their arrest will be way before the year. Because she went missing September 23rd. They didn't call till the 24th. They let her sleep outside in a 41 degree temperature or colder that night with a long sleeve blue shirt on, some blue jeans, I believe, and some hiking boots, Harley Davidson hiking boots. Grandpa said she looked back at him with tears in her eyes. You saw her with tears in her eyes before that, I bet, whenever Daddy got mad and did what he did, or Mama. I don't trust either one of them people. And I don't think law enforcement trusts them either. I hope they don't. Because their past history, I'm telling you, their past history is about as long as where they moved. From Texas to Maine. That's how long their rap sheets are if you put them together. You're telling me they went 20 miles from the Canadian border. That's how far they were running. So how bad is the CPS? Because Mama was posting on Facebook. It was pretty bad. And then he's declining to search. They're declining to search. Keep dyeing your hair pink, purple, and red, Mama. Try to be a little kid. Go find your daughter. How about that shit? You too, Mr. Goatee Man. Go find your daughter. Or tell the truth, one or the other. Because you're not doing that. And everybody knows it. They figured y'all out. You moved to a small little area, but you got people all around you that figured you out and y'all don't like it. They're probably going to bounce again if they ain't started bouncing already. They'll be gone. They're not staying there. Because now CPS will be on their trail again. But now at least they'll probably have somebody watching them, monitoring them, hope. But they will go. They will run again. They've always ran. And this is way bigger. And if we make it bigger and turn the heat up, then they will be in trouble. You know, Stephanie Diamond, 13-year-old, 5 foot, 130 pounds, supposedly walked off in the woods and vanished 20 miles from the Canadian border. Parents have never searched one time. Mom saying she's getting text messages, but yet they live off the grid and have no internet, no nothing. Something's going wrong here in this thing. Something's not adding up. And I think we know that. That's the mystery behind this case, is the parents. Just like Sebastian Rogers, the mystery behind the case is them. You get me? That's why I wanted to talk about both of these two, because they're the same way. Except for one has 6 kids and the other one had 1 kid. Well, she would have had 3 if she'd have had the other 2. And thank God Nina didn't listen to Chris, because I'm sure that's Katie that told him, well, just tell her to have an abortion, because they were already dating anyway. So I'm sure she said, well, I done had 2. You go ahead and get you one, right? Because allegedly that's what's going around. And I mean, it's coming from the one she was married to for a long time. So I'm assuming it's correct. She hadn't debunked it, unless she did in her video today, which would be a lie anyway. That's why I don't really, I'm going to wait. I'm going to give it a day to get moving around, and then I'll take it and break it down. And I'll throw the red flags, and I'll bring them to y'all. Because I know there's going to be a lot of them, if they even post it. I don't know if they ever have. This is not about them. It's about Sebastian. I'm tired of worrying. We already know the answers. We know they know. They can't run from it. Just like Stephanie's parents can't run from it. You know, Sebastian and Stephanie did not deserve what happened to them. They didn't. This, you know, Sebastian, thank God he's captured Americans' hearts. And I'm praying right now so hard that Americans' hearts, I want all my Ruby Pack to join this case for Stephanie. Just like we are for Harley Morris and for all of them. We need to do something. I'm sorry, we do. I need some of y'all that are really, really good at digging. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I won't say your names because I know a couple of y'all don't want me to say your names. But Mama number 2 and all y'all, dig on this case. See what you can find. It's going to blow your mind. I promise you. This poor little girl did not deserve this. She's in them woods somewhere. Yeah, she is. He knows. Mama might not know, but he knows. Because he's never really posting it. Mama posts a lot of things on her Facebook about her, but that's guilt like Katie. You know, I think that's the same. They're acting the same. That's why I feel it's the same. You know, these two do not deserve this. Somebody would have taken these kids. Seth wanted them. Somebody would have taken her. There's so many people out here that want kids. Why do you think these kids some of them are vanishing when they're born? Like somebody's paying good money for a baby. They're trying to sneak them across the border all the time. They have runners that try to run babies across the border because they want to sell them to somebody for money. It's sad. But somebody would have taken these kids. And yeah, then your problems would have probably not been gone, but at least he would have been out of the house so he could have came home if he was mandated out of the I think he was because he told us he wasn't. So everything he tells us, I look at backwards. When he tells me, you know, it's purple, no, I know it's blue, right? You know what I'm saying? Or if he says it's orange, I know it's green. You know, I know this guy is trying to do. I'm not dumb. And he's smart. He's military. They're smart. But the biggest flaw of all is that they'll both fight for their country and abuse their kids. That's sad. You put your life on the line for your country, for all of us to have our freedom. And the one person you can't save is your child. That military did nothing for you. I hate to say it. That's dishonorable, in my opinion. And I know you know what I'm saying. That's dishonorable. That's how we look at it. But, you know, we're going to find this kid. Someone's going to find this child. Whether he's put up somewhere or he's not. I just don't think they would take the chance. But then again, they tried to do it to Nina. So we know they will do it. Think about that. They tried hard to do that to Nina. They're still trying to do that to Nina. Take her child. So I don't put nothing past them. I think when the arrest comes, I got some handcuffs up there for y'all. Right there, hanging. Right by the car sign at the top. You see them hanging right there by the red stripe on the flag? That's a pair of handcuffs. I'm saving them for the day one of them gets locked up. Or Jen Soto gets locked up. Because Maddie Soto didn't deserve that either, but we found Maddie Soto. Well, they found Maddie Soto. She was found. Thank God for that gentleman that called in. There you go. It wasn't the police that found her. It was somebody that was passing by that did the right thing. And that's what somebody needs to do in these two cases, is do the right thing. It's not about the reward money. There's a reward for both of them. Somebody's going to get a paycheck. $50,000 and $15,000. It's a lot of money. FBI put it out for both of them. And they don't put it out for these kids unless they think it's foul play. I'm sorry. And I know they're trying so hard to keep this thing silent, and that's why they're making these small little speeches. And I like that because that means they're working their butt off because they want that DA wants answers. From what I understand, he wants answers from people I've talked to. And then I think Nick Barris put out something about the DA too, how this guy wants something. He wants arrest. He wants them arrested. That's what he wants. I'm not saying who. I'm just saying he wants someone to take the fall. So when you have a DA pushing that hard, they know something, guys. I think they know pretty much what happened. And with Seth being so happy with his last conversation, that makes me think that maybe everything is finally coming together. Maybe they're seeing what we're seeing, you know, right? And I know they don't look at it that way at first, and they're investigators. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to look at it as Sebastian and no guilt here, just leave them as suspects and let us try to figure it out. And usually that's when they'll say, okay, the parents have no involvement. Not the little BS they're saying about, oh, they're fully cooperating. I don't hear them saying they're fully cooperating now. I haven't heard that in a long time. Well, we know Seth communicates with them, but I don't hear the other side. Y'all, I don't. Uh-oh. Running out of wood. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you like, huh? There you go. All right, guys. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Justice, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So, think about it that way. These two did not deserve any of this. And we're going to do our best to see if we can't help in any way possible. Because I don't know how I let Stephanie's case slip like this. I'm upset at myself. I really am, guys. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going back to work, because, you know, I had the first month or so off. Remember when I started the channel, because I wanted to learn as much as I could and try to figure it out, right? So I took that time off, and then now that I'm back, some days I just don't have time to do anything, and it's tough because I still think about these cases all day, right? And I've just let her slip, right? I did 2 or 3 videos on her. And then once the Amber Alerts and all that slowed down, and they weren't coming in like crazy like they were in October and November, which we know right before holidays, that's usually when it is, or the first start of summer. And it's like I let it slip through me, and I'm so sorry. And you know, I feel bad for it. So it's time to make up for it. That's what I'm saying. So it's time to push, right? All these things have now come out that we know, right? And I've been checking and emailing. I'm trying to figure out a few more of these CPS cases. I mean, I'm not going to get the information. I'm trying to find out if they're in that little town. So trying to track the trail, right? Because something made them run clear across the world almost, right? And clear across the country, pretty much. Texas all the way up to Maine, and the top of damn Maine, 15 miles from Canada. Something made them run that far. That they were really scared to go that far. Sorry. Especially in those harsh winters. That's hard to live off the grid in that climate. It's hard to grow vegetables, fruit. They didn't have running water, electricity. I don't think they had none of that. I mean, I guess they may have had solar panels or something maybe, but they were off grid. That means you don't have power poles coming to your house. So if you want power, you got to get batteries and solar panels. Or run a generator. And maybe they ran a generator, I don't know. But I'm just saying they had no running water. There's no shower, no nothing for these kids. 6 kids. Living in one little house. Like a hut thing. In a freaking ice cold climate. You move from Texas to that. You know how hard that was for those kids to adapt? My gosh, that had to be hard. Because Texas is always hot, and now it's always cold up there. That's why we can't search there now. The ground's pretty much frozen. There's nothing. I can't. The drones, I don't even know if they would go pick up anything right now. And the areas I went back to is areas that we had flown the drone that were suspicious to me, like where that dirt was dug next to that log that was laying on the ground that had a hole in it. It looked like concrete a little bit, but it wasn't concrete. It was like hard clay, but it had been shoveled up and thrown to the side and then recovered up and then covered up with leaves, and I think it rained on it once or twice. But I could still tell and see exactly where they dug, right, the outline. And so, of course, we flag everything, right? And then, you know, we do what we have to do. We let people know, and That's all we can do. And then we wait and see what happens, right? On something like that, you don't want to dig it if you're scared that it could be something, right? So you want to be careful on that, and that's why I didn't want to go messing with that dirt, you know? I'd rather leave it alone and let somebody else do it. But to say they're not, they're taking every tip seriously. I don't know. A lot of people were saying that they were doing a poor job and stuff, but I don't see that. And I mean, maybe on some things, I don't know, but I mean, they want the justice in this case. You could tell. It's eating them up right now. Like they're running circles trying to figure out this last piece of the puzzle. And once they get that last piece, once that little piece goes ding and the light comes on, whoo, boy, Tinkerbell gonna be trying to fly. They might be in Canada. They might go up there. Remember he just posted about Canada. Maybe him and what's his name are buddies, Christopher and Christopher. Maybe he got some notes from Christopher. I don't know. They both got CPS problems, so I don't know. CPS in Texas don't play. That's why they ran, guys. They would have taken them kids in a heartbeat. But they ran. And when you bounce around every couple months like that, they can't find you. And that's what makes it hard. And especially when they have cell phones, but they have no service, right? You can't track them down unless they're on the internet. You could track them every now and then when they stop at somewhere with free Wi-Fi and they get on their phone and make 500 posts or whatever. And then, it just doesn't make sense. Some of the stuff these parents did on that case doesn't make sense. It's like Sebastian's case doesn't make sense. You're telling us this child walked out a front door and there's no trail, there's no scent, there's no nothing of this child. They're saying she walked off and walked in the woods crying after a fight with her sister over chores. That's all you could come up with? She's 13. Whew, man. Some people are just not meant to be parents. I hate to say it. And we're looking at 2 sets of them right now. And one of them has really made it clear with the 2 abortions that she, no way, right? That would have been 3. If she'd have got her way. Okay, hold on. Let me say something. And I wasn't going to say this, but I'm mad. I'm going to say it. Because it pissed me off. Katie has had 3 children. Chris has had 1. Out of Katie's 3, we know that she aborted 2. Out of all 3 of her kids, she has none. 0. Ding, 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 ding. 0. 0, 0, 0. Oh, I made that sign. It said right there for Sebastian. 1 year today. 2/25/25. Sebastian Rogers. Yeah, I made a little sign. I just didn't finish it, but I didn't have time. I got back late, and I was like, man, I don't have time to even prepare. I wasn't going to come on, but I was like, man, I better come on. I want to get some stuff out. I wanted to talk about these 2. I want to remind everybody about the Harley thing on the 29th. Anybody wants to help, great, cool. I know one of y'all lives there. Shout out to you. Thank you. And as soon as I get that flyer, I will post it. I'll add it to make a new thumbnail and add it and do a short video about it to get it all out there. But as far as Sebastian Rogers, he's now 16, turned 16 December 7th, 2024. He's been missing a year today, 6 p.m., 6. I said a prayer at 6:30, at 6:25. And if you noticed, that's what I waited. I waited till right at that time to start this video. Right as soon as I had done that, I started the video. And a year is a long time. 365 days. It's a long time. And I know they're still saying the 26th in some of this, but it's not the 26th. We know now it's the 25th, and that's what everybody said all along. What did all of us say all along? I mean, I remember JLR. Shout out to JLR. He's always boots on the ground like us. I remember him in the beginning saying something about he was trying to map out the road or something, and I remember him saying he didn't make it home from the roadhouse. And then, knowing that light bulb's gone, which, I think Dolly Vision caught that. Shout out to Dolly, my brother. He caught that. I think it was a ring light bulb so they could watch Sebastian. That's what I think it was. Those bulbs, the floodlight bulbs, you put them in, but they got a ring camera in them. That's what I think it was. And that bulb was missing. So when that trash went out, you couldn't tell. It was blurry, right? They did it on purpose, guys. They're not dumb. It wasn't Sebastian took out that trash. That dog would have went right from that front door. When they walked it around, it would have picked that scent up right there where he walked that can, and that dog would have went straight to that can. And that didn't happen. Sorry. And a lot of people aren't talking about that. Think about that. If he'd have taken that trash out at 8 p.m. and they were there with dogs early, by lunch, I think, right? Or 1, something like that, the dogs were running. You're going to tell me after just those few hours, if he really took out that trash, that dog would have went straight to that trash can like no tomorrow, like they did inside the house. Following his trail everywhere. You take them outside, you try to find the trail, and they can't find one. And they find a little dummy trail, you know, because if someone carried him off, then, of course, they probably left a little something. He could have spit on the ground or something, and then they got that one scent and then tried to find it from there. We don't know. We just know what was said, okay? And what was said was, I went to wake him up, and he wasn't here. So I panicked. And I guarantee you it wasn't even 1 minute. And she was calling Chris. She said that in one of the interviews, remember? It was only about 1 minute, and then she changed it to 3 minutes, but she said 1 minute first. You can't check a house. And why did you check windows? Why did you check doors? And why did you tell us about it? All you needed to tell us was, he wasn't here. Go find my kid. He's not in this house. You don't have to tell us you checked the doors, the windows. That makes you look more guilty. And the only reason she said about the shoes is because Seth said something about the shoes and she just caught. So she didn't even think about those shoes until Seth said something about it. She had totally forgot a part of her plan, I guess. So think about that. This kid, I'm telling y'all, he didn't make it home from that roadhouse. I know a lot of y'all think he does, and you know, he's on dash cam. It don't matter. She could have stopped right before that house. Somebody grabbed him out of that car, and she kept rolling. Like Christopher Proudfoot. She kept rolling on home. Pulled in the garage, where she normally didn't pull in the garage. Remember, I think sometimes she parks outside. But I don't know. Could be wrong. I know I've seen the car outside sometimes. But, you know, sometimes we lurk in the shadows. And y'all know that. But sometimes we fly drones. Sometimes we do little things like that. Sometimes you got to spy a little, right? No, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm just joking. But, you know, what she said, just none of it added up. I mean, not a damn bit of it. I mean, why you tell us about a flashlight? Because you know that you're probably caught on camera. Now, everything they said was to basically try to give them an alibi. And that's how I looked at it. And then when he started throwing the, we're clear, we're clear, we're better, we're clear, we're better, we're clear, we all took polygraphs, we all passed, we all passed, we all passed. Like, I'm not going to specify who, what, but we all passed. Okay, you're not going to specify, but you all passed. So you already specified. He's the biggest shit talker I know. He could probably talk his way out of an Irish bar and be the only one in there acting stupid. I mean, just, you know, anybody that's ever been to an Irish place like that and know when you piss them off, you're in trouble. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He could probably talk his way out of that. Well, hold on, let me tell you a story, right? He could tell a lot of stories because he's good at telling stories. Really good at telling stories. Sling Blade, good at telling stories. Sling Blade. I don't know. I'm just frustrated with this case. I did not think it would take a year. I'm disappointed. Not disappointed in necessarily. I'm not disappointed in the police or anything like that. I'm upset about how they handled it the first couple of days. But knowing now that they searched the heck out of that home and those cars, think about that. They searched the house 10 times and the cars 10 times, at least, Sonny said. So they're not going to tell us what they got. They can't. What did they get? We don't know. And they damn sure ain't going to tell nobody, not even the parents. They'll tell them what they need to tell them and keep them going in the beginning, but then when they start putting it together, they can't get quiet. And I think when they started getting quiet, that's when the other two started getting loud. That's what I think. Because He doesn't really use that phrase anymore of, well, TBI, tell me. He don't really do that anymore. I think his lawyer got him fixed on that, finally. And he should have fired that lawyer because they said too much in the beginning. He should have fired that lawyer quick, but he didn't. And got him a good lawyer instead of a family friend trying to steal Nina's baby, trying to make Nina look crazy. I know how these people operate, and it's heartbreaking because Sebastian had to live that every day, unless he was with Seth. He had to put up with them every day. That boy probably couldn't even leave nothing on the ground, on the floor, on the table. You see how clean the house was? I mean, my house is clean too, but if my kids leave a bag of chips in a freaking water bottle on the counter, I'm not going to get mad, but I guarantee you he couldn't do that. And it's like they picked on him for everything. Just like that little clip that she released. Did y'all see that? That's why I put that picture on there of him. He was smiling about the tea or whatever, and it is so cute, but then he frowned at the end when she told him he was goofy. See, that tells you something. They pick on him a lot. For him to turn that face into a frown that quick, with autism, he reacted that fast. That means that he's going through a lot. I'm sorry. It's true. And it's totally heartbreaking and sad. And I think little Stephanie Darman was going through the same things as Sebastian. Only worse, because there was way more CPS and their parents were on the run. So this is another case that's going to be a heartbreaker to do, but I got to do it. Something's telling me to do it. I got to do it. I hope y'all are on the same page with me on this. I'm not leaving any of these other cases. I'm just adding one. And we add the ones that we feel can be solved like pretty quickly. I think this can be done. I think they could arrest the parents tomorrow for CPS, just like they could arrest Chris and Katie. They could arrest them right now with their neglect and all that and abuse, and they could get them for that quick. But they don't want them for that. They want them for something bigger. And a lot of times when they arrest someone, they'll throw all these charges in there and then to work some of them backwards to hold something just in case they get off, then they can slam them with that one, right? But they're waiting for that first degree, I think. But I could be wrong. I really don't know who was in that car. I still think that was a dummy run to make it look like he left, and that was part of their plan. And if you think about it, even at that particular time, if that would have been Christopher, he still would have made it back before he got in that crane. So it could have been him still. It could have been that, but Sebastian didn't take out the trash. So she's lying about that. I have a feeling because there's no dog. They said no scent outside that home. Okay, that means he don't even play in the yard. Because if he'd have been playing in the yard on the weekend at all, his scent would have been that grass. And they would have found that scent. But he doesn't play outside. He's caged inside, in his room, I think. And he probably has to walk on eggshells every day. But I'm sure the last month was a little easier on him because supposedly the other one was gone. The weekends, I think, were probably still hard. But the weekends that he left, I'm sure Christopher came home, right? Then when he went with Seth. And then, he talked to his daddy on the 22nd. We know they went to, what was it? Costco's on the 24th at 8. And then the 25th, they did all that spaghetti pancakes. The day she talks about, she talks about that day like it was the last day. Look at how she talks, like it was the last day. And I'm a perfect mother. Perfect mother that don't search, don't beg for your child, you don't plead for your child, you don't cry, you don't sit there on the camera and cry and beg somebody to let your son go. When you say he walked out the door and somebody's got him, that came out of your own mouth, Katie. Your own mouth. Think about that. You failed him. All over a man that beat on him. And you allowed it. And I think because you were probably doing it too. I hate to say that, but it's probably true. Poor Sebastian probably had nowhere to go over there. And that's why he told his daddy he didn't want to go back. I think they were both abusing this kid. Because I think she was doing it to take out her anger on him. Because he was probably doing it to her too. And I'm sure she probably tried to defend him in the beginning of all this. And then she probably got something too. from him. And then she started getting scared, and so then she just started taking his side. That's how that abuser works. They break you down and make you come to them, and then your kid's in the way because your kid called CPS on me more than once, more than twice, more than 3, 4. We keep going if you want. Couple in New Mexico. I know that wasn't for Sebastian, but that's more. PTOs, more. That's a lot. And then what they did to them two. They've been dating since 2015, guys. Put it that way. December, when they met. They met, and it was like love at first sight. That's what it was. He was with Nina. She was with Seth. They were still doing what they were doing. Then she was going home doing what she was doing with Seth. So it was all the same thing. He was going back doing what he was doing to Nina. Like it was no problem. They were just had a husband and a wife that, it's all right. We got a husband and a wife. We can still do what we want to do. And it's sad. Because little Sebastian was raised by Seth for the majority of his life. And then she took that away from him in an instant. By fake bullshit. She made up in her head, like they're making up, like he's making up now, and they're making up now. They've been doing this for a long time. Since they met, they've been lying. And they wanted their happily ever after. That's what they wanted. No kids, no strings attached. I believe in that old man. I feel it. He's right. When he did that for me, I was like in shock. I was like, that is crazy. He goes, dude, it's true. And I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, he was saying his opinion-wise that, if you want all the strings to go away, you have to eliminate whatever's causing the problem, right? Like when we try to fix something, we try to solve a problem, we go to the problem. Well, in this case, you couldn't go to the problem because the problem was CPS. So you're not going to weasel your way out of that. And I know dang good and well what he said that CPS worker said, she didn't say that at all. That's him just making up a BS line. There ain't no damn way CPS going to say that. I don't care which one it is. They're there for the kid. And if they come to that house, that means something serious. Not a little minor thing. It's serious. If they come to that door of your home. Because I'm pretty sure they had been at that school too. Usually they take pictures. If there's any whelps, any red marks, they will take pictures. And we know that one looked like he had a bruise on his neck, so I don't know. I hope maybe they got those pictures of him all scratched up when they first did this. I don't know. I hope somebody got those photos. I'm sure he wore a long sleeve though, so the cops didn't really see it. He was smart. He's dumb. He just messed up and wore short sleeve that one night because he thought it was healed enough and nobody noticed it and everybody caught it because that's what we do. We look for anything that could point to where this kid could be. And if that means looking at you, we look at you. That's human nature. But anyway, guys, these two did not deserve what happened. And we need to find out what happened. We can't give up. It's too hard to give up. But, at least we had a nice fire tonight and got to do a little fire chatting and talk about these two angels. And we need to bring them home. So yes, Sebastian's strong, but we also need to say Stephanie's strong too. Because she needs us as well, guys. This little girl did not deserve that. I don't think she walked off in them woods. They're trying to use the Summer Wells theory here. But they live in more remote than Summer Wells. That's the problem. These remote places, usually they don't steal kids. I mean, I'm sure it's happened in the past a little bit, but it's not a lot. Usually it's in bigger areas like after school zones. It's things like that when kids are usually taken. Not way out in the middle of the damn boondocks where you got to have $20 worth of gas or $50 worth of gas to get there. They're not going to do that. They can go ride around in the middle of nowhere on the Canadian border. They're too close to law enforcement. They're not doing that. There's a lot of law enforcement present in those when you get close to those borders. They guard those borders good. So I don't believe that somebody came and got them. They said they heard a car from the house. They were inside. How are they going to hear a car? Lie about something else, but don't tell me that damn lie. Because that's a bullshit lie. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say that. I'm just frustrated. Because now we have two cases that are almost identical. I mean, really, everything identical. Parents aren't searching. Parents decline to search. Don't want to help. I mean, at least they haven't ghosted him like the prophets ghosted him. But they left her out there all night. Never even called the law. Never even went to look for her. That's what it looks like. And I think that's what all the neighbors are so upset about. But I'm joining the neighbors. I'm here for y'all. We got to do something. Let's get some stuff going. Let's get this search pre-planned. It takes a while to do these things. I got the maps already of the whole area. I've already done that. I've already located a bunch of areas. There's a couple of little areas that have some small little openings. Everything else is pretty much thick evergreens and trees, like Christmas trees everywhere. Thick brush, guys. With one little trail in it that goes by like an old rundown car. And then it comes up to that road. But why is there a trail there anyway? I don't understand that, but there's a trail there. And they could not hear a vehicle from that far away. We're going to test it out, but I don't believe so. When I asked a couple people about it, they're like, no, not that far. Not through that thick brush. It's not going to. It muffles the sound. So I don't think that they were ever heard a vehicle. They gave good excuses and good reasons why they would say she ran off with somebody she met, but I don't think that phone data is going to point to that because they hadn't said anything about that. If truly she was on that phone and had met somebody on that phone, the police knew who that was the first day they took those phones. Because remember, she didn't have a phone with her. That was Grandpa's phone. They took all those phones. So they know she wasn't communicating with anybody. If she'd have been communicating with someone, they would have clearly said it. And they didn't say that. And they didn't say nothing. They're not taking foul play off the table. They're not taking nothing. These parents are suspects. I'm sorry. In those police and FBI minds, these parents are guilty to them. Like, they're looking at them like something's not adding up. Because if we can catch it, imagine what they're catching, because they're over there on the ground when it happened. They know a lot more. They spoke to these parents. They want to see how they talk, see how they act, right? They acted perfectly normal, and they didn't want to search for their daughter at all. So we need to search for her, just like we do for Sebastian, just like we do for all of them. So keep your prayers up, guys, please. We love y'all, guys. We'll talk on the next one. I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm about to go, crash out. Long day. I got to be at work at 5 in the morning. So, with that said, sorry to yawn, but y'all have a good night, guys. And thank y'all so much for 4 wonderful months. We love all of y'all. Cindy, you're in our prayers today, tomorrow, forever. I pray that everything goes the way you want it to go. I pray that the tests come back negative. And I hope all y'all say a prayer for Cindy too, please. She's part of our family, guys. If we really want to build a family here, we have to bond together. So let's do it. All right? That's more about what this video was about tonight, is let's get this family strong so when we come up with these cases that we know are not right, we can spread them to... I need y'all to help spread all this. Because all it takes sometimes is hitting y'all, you're on all these other channels and you hit one channel that catches them like it caught me. And then they're like, oh yeah, and then they do one, and once they do the one and they figure out all the CPS, then they're going to be like, oh my God, we got to keep this going, right? That's what you have to do. Because this case is almost identical to Sebastian's case, almost identical to Summer Wells' case. CPS is in all 3 of these cases. But the crazy thing is, in the Stephanie case, CPS is worse. And arrest records are worse. So it tells the story, guys. And we're working on it. We got a conclusion we're going to do. We just need a few more pieces of the puzzle to do our conclusion on it. And we're going to search and we're going to keep spreading awareness. The more we post her face, every time you post her face, there's a chance that 1, 2, 3 new people see that. And all it takes is one of those people to be like, oh, I know somebody that lives there. Let me talk to them, right? And then that's how sometimes things get going. And that's how sometimes we get news, right? Sometimes that breaks the case. So let's break them. Break them down, all right? Let's break these parents down and get the truth out. Because all the red flags point to them, all. And I'm telling you, there's more red flags in Stephanie's case than there is in Sebastian. Way more red flags. way more. They haven't talked to nobody but Dateline. It looks like. I mean, the dad, he's trying to be a big shot, but he's you can see the guilt right through his face as soon as he talks. Yep. Oh, that's what happened. That's what I'm going with. That's what we're going with. That's what he says. What did Chris say? Here we go, right? What did he say? That's what we're going with. That's your story then. That's your plan. Y'all, something bad happened and you had to plan this in your head quick. And you did. That's what we're going with. That tells me right then and there. They're guilty. To me, remember, allegedly, these are my opinions, guys. Not to reflect the channel, these are my opinions. Just my big alleged bubble. Again, I say that. Anyway, been an hour and 10 minutes sitting here. We made a fire for an hour and 10 minutes. That's cool. Only had to add wood twice. We did good tonight, guys. I want to thank each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for helping this channel grow. Thank y'all for being a part of it. It's 4 months today. Where are we going to be in a year? How many of these cases will be solved by the end of 2025? Before Sebastian's next birthday, will this be solved? I don't know. I think so, though. I think I've always, since December, I guess right at Thanksgiving, I think, is when I started feeling like something's brewing, because they got really quiet. And then they came out and debunked the green hoodie, and it's like, okay, now they're playing a game of, I'm going to shut you up because what you're doing is not going to work. But they're allowing them to do it because that's only digging their hole deeper. Every time they tell a lie on the show, they know that. And remember, when you're speaking here, you're speaking. When they're talking, they're not saying allegedly. I'm allegedly saying this, and, these are just my thoughts, my theories. They're not saying that. They're speaking. So that can be used. So I hope the Sling Blade and all, I hope they got copies of all that in that courthouse. I hope that DA's got copies of all that. I'm pretty sure he does, because I know I sent a few in, so I'm pretty sure he does have them all. I send a lot of things in that y'all don't know about. Not just me, my team. They love sending emails. I'm not big on emails because I'm always gone. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get to y'all, and I'm so sorry, but I'm so busy. And I try to plan these searches where nobody knows, right? I don't want a bunch of people running out there and me not being able to do what I need to do. That's why, because I'm limited on time. And when you spend $800 to fly there and fly back in a day, it's a lot of money, right? So I just want to get down there, do what I got to do. That's why I don't film a lot of it there. Like when I'm in there, when I'm only there 4 to 6, 8 hours, I have to do what I have to do and get out, right? But it does always help me eliminate areas, and then I can come to these. I got 5 new areas that I want to target for the summer, but I'm going to try to knock a few of these out along before summer. And then that way we'll have Summer Wells, then we'll have Sebastian's big push. We're going to do a big push on each of those. They're pretty close together. Then I'm going to do a couple of days on the Sentinellos. I'm playing that behind the door. I'm not telling nobody. I got some areas I want to target there for Layla Sentinellos. I think about her a lot. I know I don't put a lot of videos out about her, but I do think about her a lot because she's in that area. The 2 Alexes that are in that area, I think about them. There's a lot of these kids that I think about that I don't get the time to make videos yet. Like once I do the summer and I'm off for 5 weeks, oh my God, I'll be able to throw everybody on here. And I was doing that for the first 2. You got to admit, when I was not working and I was able to focus on just YouTube, I was doing a lot. I did 400 and something, 300 and something videos in the first 2 months. Think about that. Chronicles Livia's been out a long time. I have more videos than she does. And this is only 4 months today. And I think I got 600 videos? Tell me, I try to get everything out there. And now I'm learning to get them out there and then dig and then bring it back and talk about it again, kind of like this case. But fire's going out. But today Sebastian Wayne J. Crotchers has been missing 1 year. 1 year. Where is he? Where's this young man? He must be found, guys. No matter what we do, he's somewhere. And you know what? Somebody knows something. So, who knows what is what I want to know, right? But it's a mystery. These cases are both mysteries. And if you listen to what Mr. Proudfoot said in the beginning, one of the things he said is actually coming true. A lot of people aren't talking about this. This case is going to be studied for years. Remember that. That's a way of saying, you know who that reminds me of? Monta's husband. the way he would say certain things, that military way of saying things, exactly. I look at that. And that statement that he made really raised a red flag. Just like the one when he asked Seth, what are you going to do if it goes sideways or south or whatever? Why are you trying to say that in the very beginning? And we all know you don't search for something, you know where it is, right? That's why they're not searching. That's why Stephanie Darman's family's not searching, because they know. And the thing about Stephanie Darman is because her mom's a registered nurse, RN. That means she's smart. But she can't, I'm sure she can't be a nurse because of CPS and her arrest record. They're not going to put her in a hospital. So she shot herself with that. She can't do anything. She shot herself in the foot. She can't get a job, I don't believe, as a nurse anywhere because of her past. Now, maybe up there, if they don't run a Texas record, maybe that's why they went so far. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to get to a hospital. But there's no hospital out there in the woods off the grid. I mean, my God, think about it. When you're off the grid like that, you use 5-gallon buckets for a toilet, guys. And these are teenage girls they have, some of them. And they're having to deal with that. They have no way to do their hygiene, no way to wash their hair, take it, and let's say do it in water brought in or wherever they're getting their water out of a stream, which is probably not filtered. I mean, I can't imagine. Hell, if my girls didn't have a shower, man, I'd be in trouble. If they don't even have soap or if their shampoos are low, I have to check them. If shampoo starts getting low, I have to go get one, right? Because I always get scared they're going to get in there and not have shampoo, and then I'm going to hear it, right? That's the type of things that we should do as parents. And they didn't do any of that, but get CPS complaints, just like Sebastian's case. So think about those. Think about those things. Put them in your heart. Think about them. Because I really thought a lot about Sebastian today when I was out there. And I don't feel that he's there. I know some people might think though, but I don't feel he's in that area at all. I think this man worked backwards, knowing that area between Hendersonville and Memphis was going to be checked so thoroughly. I think he went the opposite direction. So that's what I'm doing now, working on opposite direction. Anyway, y'all guys be good, be safe. Prayers for Stephanie Darman. Walked in the woods and vanished. Parents never searched. CPS involved. That child didn't walk away. Just like Sebastian Rogers, he didn't walk out of that house. There's not 1 cent of anything walking out of that house. So that tells me one thing. He didn't even make it home. Or his footprints would have been all in the garage and all out there on that concrete. He didn't make it home that night. I don't believe, in my opinion. But I'll leave it with that. Trigger warnings always. I'm just a big alleged bubble. Take it as a grain of salt. Anyway, y'all guys have a good night. We love y'all guys. Cindy, again, we're praying for you, Cindy. And please, everybody, say a prayer for Cindy. And for Sebastian. And for Stephanie. For all the missing, all the voices, all the runaways. They run for a reason. Y'all know that. What's that reason? We try to figure it out. Foul play, not, I don't know. Anyway, guys, have a good night. We love y'all. Talk to y'all on the next one. All right.